Hi, I'm Janey, and I am going to rank my art today. What kind of art? Art all in the shape of my head. There's 26 artworks that we're going to look through, and they come from a challenge that I made for the month of September to make art every day in the shape of my head, exploring different things and themes, because I have an album or an EP coming out that's 5 songs exploring how the inside of my head works, feels, etc. You know, this is for the mentally ill, for the neurodivergent, for those of us who walk the world feeling very strange. And I don't know, I love when music speaks to me. If you need to be spoken to, come on over. Let us begin. Oh, you'll notice I live in New York and I have lots of construction sounds. I'm sorry about that. I have an old computer. The fan is just gonna happen. It's gonna go off and be crazy, and that's just something we have to live with. Now, before I decided that I was gonna do this challenge every day in September, I made some art pieces in this shape to see if I liked it and to see if it had kind of the punch that I wanted it to have. So that's why we're up in 26, even though today is September 15th. This first one, I'm going to put honestly into A. Part of the reason I love this one, can you hear the computer? She's singing to us, thank you. Okay, part of the reason I love this one is that this is like the reason why I did the challenge in the first place. This is exactly how I was feeling in the moment, and I knew I felt really disconnected. I felt lonely in this way that was like internal and external. I felt like I couldn't connect to anything outside of me, but I also felt like I couldn't connect with myself, with like my inner world, with my inner sense of imagination. And that made me feel claustrophobic. It made me feel one-dimensional and angry and confused and like trapped chaos. And I didn't know how to verbalize any of that until I put it all down in the shape of my head. And this idea of having this like thick black outline that I cannot penetrate, and also a like black core that I can't touch either. It was making the art that got me out of that feeling. So yeah, I think it's an A because it's not particularly interesting or beautiful. It's very simple. It's on a paper bag. A lot of these you'll see are on paper bags. Another one, I'm going to put this in the B. This is one of my sunflowers. And these two are kind of paired. I'm going to put this one in A because I actually really like it. So this B one and this A one are another kind of reason that I'm doing the project, which is I was feeling the same, like couldn't connect with the outside black outline situation, and I felt like it was killing me. Like it felt like I felt like a flower that like couldn't get the light in, and I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So what I did was I cut out 2 of these, shapes, and I put them next to each other, and I painted one sunflower that was exactly how I was feeling, and then the other sunflower, this one, that was how I wanted to feel. And it really helped, and it felt like, oh shit, this is why we make art. Like this is why it's important to me. So I wanted to start out with those 3 because that's why this whole thing is important. Now we're just gonna have fun. Okay, this one I really like, but I'm gonna put it in B tier. I like this one in person more than I like the scan of it. I'm scanning all of these like on my shitty little printer. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but like texturally, it's kind of mesmerizing to me. I love just like some of the random choices I made, and I am a really big fan of like these colors together, and it's something I really like, but I don't think there's anything particularly interesting about it. So It's going in a generous B. It might go to C eventually in the truth of things. Okay, this one I'm gonna put in D. This goes into the category of I was just fucking around and seeing what I like. And I like the dots. Actually, okay, I'm gonna put this in C. No, I'm not. No, it's going in D because it's just like messy and whatever. It's just like a warm up, basically. I'm also gonna put this in D. Again, this is before I'm starting the challenge. I'm like experimenting. I'm using this as like a meditative practice. So like when I have all these dots, I might be listening to songs and like dotting to the rhythm. I really like to bring art into like the experience of life. And like if I hear a bird, like you'll see I painted a bird in one of these. That was just because I saw a bird. I was like, oh, okay, guess I should paint that. This guy, I'm putting this in S. I am obsessed with this painting. It's like one of my absolute favorites. Exactly the inquisitive look I wanted to get. And I have a song called Cyclops that's coming out soon. It's all about like the idea of the capacity to see in anxiety and in whatever, like any possibility. Like I can imagine absolutely anything happening, but sometimes that doesn't include like the truth. So like if I'm in a fight with somebody or I'm in like a disagreement where we can't like communicate, like if there's something that happens and then somebody goes to work and I'm like, oh my God, I have lots of time to ruminate and to guess and to imagine all these different futures of what might come of this or what might be happening in this person's head or whatever. It comes from this like, I don't know, naive and sweet and loving place, but it's just wrong. But it's powerful, you know, the imagination is powerful. And trying to say that like, as much as that's a difficult experience for me and something that I wrote the song over a year ago, and I think that I have moved far along that road. That imagination is the same thing that makes me an artist and that makes me write music and that makes me be able to take my life and turn it into art and use my art to change my own life. And so I think this painting kind of is awesome in how it does both those things. Okay. This one, I'm going in A. I really love this. I won't get into it too much, but I have lots of like metaphysical thoughts, questions, feelings, and this kind of explores some of them. This guy I'm putting in C because I'm obsessed with this. This was like me girlhood, and I was obsessed with tiger lilies. I was like obsessed with my first Nokia phone. Okay, here's the truth, is I like it more than this guy, so we're switching those two around. Okay. And it's on a paper bag, which I feel like is very emblematic of my kid self, so love that. This one I really like too. I'll put it in B. It's a chair. It's related to one of my songs called The Restaurant. This one, I will put it in C down here. I think it's totally fine, but nothing special. This one will go in D. This is another just like random playing with things, trying to just like put my emotions on paper in the shape of my own head. There's an ambulance. And you can really hear my computer. Okay, poll for the audience. Do you hold cups with their handles? Or are you doing kind of like this situation? This is what I'm doing. And I know that this is like a kind of comically small handle, but I'm like really not like lifting things like this. Okay. Now, on to the challenge. The way that I structured the challenge is day 1 is today. So I just wanted it to be like inside of your head on the day that you're doing it. Tune in with yourself. Make that happen. Then there are prompts for 5 days after that. And all of these prompts have some sort of loose connection with a song in the EP that I'm putting out this month. Yeah, explore those themes artistically and invite anyone else who wants to kind of talk about these themes. So you'll see that show up in the patterning, and then after 5, you have another check-in day. So it'll be like 1, 7, 13 are all what's inside of your head today. And okay, so this is the first one. I fucking love this guy. I'm gonna put it in A because I really like it. Even though it's super simple and not that like defined, like I'm definitely still doing the I'm just messing around thing, but I really like how this one turned out. 2, the prompt was, what does the inside of your head look like when you're listening to a song that you love? And this is another one where I'm dotting along to the beat. I think I listened to the song 5 times in a row and just tried to capture different parts of what I like about it. I do not like this one very much. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I'm going to put it in D. I'm putting this one in D too. This one was the inside of your head at work, and I think it's ugly. Okay? It's ugly. But I actually had a really profound experience making it, so I have some appreciation for it. It's fine, but I can see how much I was intellectualizing, and it's not my game. Okay, this is the one where I saw a pigeon, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to paint you. And then that pigeon like stuck around and kept harassing me while I was there. Not harassing me. I think it wanted to see what I was doing and food. And I did kind of befriend it at the end, which was really sweet. I have to put it in A. I'm putting it in B. I love it. It'll probably go to the top of B. I'll categorize them in exact order at the end. Oh, and this, by the way, was the inside of your head outside. Now, this is the inside of your head as fruit. If I am the apple tree, then I'm the rotten fruit. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm going A. I really like it. I'm a big fan. I think it's simple. I think it's clear. I think it's good. I love the colors. Okay. This one is the inside of my head at 11. And I chose that prompt for a reason, because I'm okay with it being you're 11 years old or you're like turned up to 11. Like, what is you at 11? And I was very like going with the flow on this one. It's the only one on here that's like super mixed, or any really mixed media, kind of other things. I got a wrapper from I got one of those strawberry candies while I was out, and I used to be obsessed with those. So I was like, oh, gotta use this. And I ended up using this hand too that I had painted at another time. But the truth is, I'm putting it in C. Maybe it'll go to the top of C? No, I don't know. We'll arrange it later, but it's going in C. It's not my favorite, but I think it's cool. This is honestly one of my favorites, and I'm putting it in S, and it's okay if people don't agree with me, but I'm obsessed. I am so fascinated and in awe of people that can make like beautiful folk art that has very little in terms of like variety of like depth of color, like not using a ton of dark colors, but still having this like soft storytelling, intricate design. It's something I always wish I could lean into more, like a bit of a subtle palette. And you'll see here, like I am out there using some colors. But yeah, I really love this one, so it's going up there. This next one I also love. It's also going up there. This is the inside of my head clown version, like whatever, like the inside of your head as clown. And I don't know if you can see, there's like this second eye looking up at the clown. It really packed a punch for me, and I absolutely loved making it. This is for my song, Fool Song, which I'm going to put 3 random lyrics now.
Am I 13? Am I 25? I'm a fish in the Oregon forest. Get on your knees, girl.
I love the song. What can I say? Okay. I'll have like a link for you to listen to it if you want. Next, we have the inside of my head underwater, and I don't really like this one. It's fine, but I don't love it. This one is the inside of my head afraid, and I really like this one. It's going up to S. I ended up totally loving it, and I meant to just keep these spots as like windows into what was underneath it. I found some interesting shapes in those windows and just went over them with like a white gel pen, and I'm so pleased with how it came out. This one is funny because it is the inside of my head engaged in a special interest, and I really think I nailed how it makes me feel to be engaged in a special interest. And so in that way, I'm extremely proud of it. Like, I think it is such a good representation. And also, this is another one where like the scan doesn't quite do it justice, and I'll figure out potentially how to make that not true. The textures of it all, like this is colored pencil over yellow acrylic here. I do get that kind of yummy feeling looking at it, but I also don't, like, there's also something I just like think is kind of blah about it. So I don't know if I can honestly put it in B. I might take it down to C. We'll see how it goes in the end. This one is talking to my friends. So this is the inside of my head, talking to my friends. And I actually did this one and this one the same day, and because I had 2 conversations with friends. So I couldn't use this one because of the profiles. This was like the official one. And I really like it, but it makes me look sadder than I meant it to. And I don't know what that tells me, but I do like it. I think I'm gonna put it in B. Yeah, I kind of wish that the values were like brighter on this side. Like the whole thing just like is a little dark and gloomy, but the truth is I've been in kind of a dark and gloomy mood. So I don't think it's so terrible to have my paintings tell me things about myself that I don't really want to hear. This guy, I do love this guy. This is an image I keep seeing, and I have a couple paintings that like reference this kind of character in my head that's just so joyful. I'll put a couple paintings like on the screen right now so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I just have this image of him in front of a blue sky that kind of permeates him holding an orange. And it was really fascinating like how this one came together. I did it all watercolor at first, totally hated it. Came back in with some colored pencils to give it the childlike mark making that really made me love it. But how much do I love it? I feel like I want to put it in B. So I'm going to. And then this guy, I'm obsessed with this painting right now. I did it yesterday, so it might be recency bias, but oh, this was the inside of my head today, by the way. It's unlearning. The inside of my head, unlearning. It was also so fun to make. I have to put it in S, sorry. You're going up. Up to the top, baby. The thing that makes me laugh about this is that it's like literally completely and exactly balanced. And I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Okay, we're ranking them. My absolute favorite might have to be this guy, is my truth. I think this one's at the end. I think this is correct. Clown, fear, folksy, kind of muted, whatever. Unlearning, jumble, and then the Cyclops. Okay. Here, I think we're gonna go like this. And then maybe this. Go. I think this is good. Okay, here's my final ranking. Am I being overly nice to myself? You tell me. Am I being unfair? If you want to join along, if you're an artist and you think this is fun or interesting, I have all the prompts on my Instagram and on my Substack. I'll link them below. You know, jump in for the rest of it if you want. Start it anew. It's a 30-day prompt list, so just have fun. You'll see I have many misspellings on the prompt list, dyslexic, whatever. And so I love that even from the instructions, like the rules of the game, it's imperfect and messy. And if all of yours are just these like pouring how you feel in that moment onto the paper, how fucking awesome is that? So yeah, just be so sweet and kind to yourself if you end up wanting to do this. And I would love to have you follow along. It's been a real joy. And yeah, the music that is kind of guiding this whole project is coming along swimmingly. A little bit of it is out in the world. And I invite you to join the family, join the little circle I have here. If you're interested, you want to learn more and hear more. I'm Janey. This was me ranking all my art, and thanks for being here.